Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. And Alita Battle Angel is a movie that I wanted to watch in the theaters last year, mainly because the fact that it was directed by Robert Rodriguez and co-produced by James Cameron. So I really was interested in it. I didn't know much about the movie going in, other than the fact that it was based on a manga. And to be honest, I haven't really uh, gone to the into the world of Japanese anime and all that stuff. So it's not something that interests me. But a live action movie with some of those elements, I know a little bit of science fiction, and this is kind of like cyberpunk action mostly. Does interest me, so I wanted to watch it. However, I wasn't sure that I really wanted to go to the theaters. The reviews that I did watch at that time were mostly positive. I think it was 99% positive. So that did pique my interest. But however, it's been a long time. Or rather, it took me a long time. In fact, I just watched it this afternoon. So the movie is starring Rosa Salazar, but you don't actually see her. It's basically a performance capture animation. So they do digitally enhance, giving her that almost robotic, almost like an animation look. To be honest, you've also got Christoph Waltz, who is an amazing actor, Jennifer Connelly, Mahershala Ali, Ed Skrein, Jackie Earle Haley, and Kian Johnson, who I actually checked his bio. He looks very familiar. Like maybe I've seen him as a young actor in something, but just having a quick glance at his at his filmography, I don't think I've actually seen him anyway. He just looks kind of familiar to me. He's a very young actor. He's only like 23 years old. Um, Ed Skrein you would know from Deadpool and a couple of other movies where he plays a bad guy, and he does play a bad guy over here. Um, all right, about the actress Rosa Salazar. She's a Canadian-born American actress, is what I understand. To be honest, I wasn't really sure about go and watching this movie today because the only other performance of hers that I've seen is in an episode of um, Short Treks, which is based around the Star Trek Discovery, and she plays a captain of a ship in that particular episode. And she as well as her acting, as well as the character, really pissed me off. So I wasn't 100% sure about it, but the movie is actually pretty good, is what I can say. So Rosa Salazar plays this character who's named Alida after Christoph Waltz's character's dead daughter, and she is basically a cyborg who awakens in a new body. So the brain is that of a human, but the body is mainly, a cyborg. It's all robotics and all that stuff. So it's a cyborg, and she has got no memory of her past. It slowly comes back to her, and she's trying to uncover her destiny and who she was, and getting back to it. I really love the production sets and all the designs is amazing. There's a lot of fight scenes, a lot of action scenes. However, in this kind of style, it does look a little bit unrealistic, to be honest, because it's all these, heavily fitted. What would I call it? Heavily fitted cyborgs with a lot of mechanical parts. Huge chunks of it, and they look really odd in certain places. Something like Alida's character and a couple of others were pretty good when you can make out it's a human but with some cybernetic parts or things like that. However, I wonder why they didn't do that with her character. Her face is mostly animated, and those eyes are really huge. But in real life also she kind of has similar eyes. So I'm not really sure why they went that route with her when they had other actors, including Ed Skrein's character, who is like a bounty hunter kind of thing, mostly robotics, mostly metal and stuff. But she hunter warriors, that's what they call it. But in her and it's his face. In her case, I don't know why they didn't do it that way, but it does lead to the appeal of the character, I must say, because I actually found the way she looks to be kind of cute. Mahershala Ali, I know he's an award-winning actor, Oscar-winning actor, but he doesn't really have a huge role. I mean, he is one of the main villains, but to be honest, it's the movie is actually kind of lacking a definite kind of villainous role in it, because there are two or three in it, and to be honest, I think that's one of the faults of this movie. Um, what else? Yeah, the sets are amazing. I don't really expect too much in terms of acting, but it's always a pleasure to watch someone like Christoph Waltz. And the theme basically behind it is like, she is um, coming back to herself. She gains, even though she's a cyborg. Excuse me. She gains all these human emotions, or rather, she is very human, and she develops all these feelings. She falls for the young man who helps her, played by Ed Skinner, played by Keenan Johnson is Hugo, and who's the love interest. He and his friends are also dealing in the black market. They capture these cyborgs, remove some of their parts, and then sell them. They're not aware that those cyborgs are later being killed. They're just doing it for money, and it all sounds everything around this futuristic planet, which is set about 300 years from now, or not exactly 300 years, but it's 2563, and 300 years after the Earth was devastated by a large war known as a fall, and there's this one remaining sky city called Zalem. How would we say that? Zalem, yeah. I think it's kind of like Jerusalem kind of thing. So Zalem is the place where people dream of going because it's much more luxurious. They get a lot more facilities there, and life on the surface of the earth isn't that great. I mean, it seems to be okay, but it's crowded. There's a lot of murder and stuff going on, and these the winners of this competition by the cyborgs. Something called, I was looking for that name, Murderball. Every year the unbeaten champion it gets a ticket to go to Zalem, and they get to live their rest of their life over there. So they don't actually show what happens in Zalem. I'm assuming this was supposed to be part of a franchise where you can actually see at least 2 to 3 movies. I'm not sure if we're actually going to get it because the movie didn't make that much, which I have mentioned here. The budget, it says, was between 150 to 200 million dollars, and it fell short of the break-even part, even though it did make more than that. Considering all the expenses they put in, they need to make at least, I think, 500 or something like that million to just break even, but they fell short of it. It was 404.9 million. However, I do think a lot of people have been buying the DVDs and Blu-rays, and to be honest, I would also be interested in buying this. Because I think this is a movie that I can enjoy over and over again. I do find a few flaws, but overall, because of the set designs, because of the futuristic look, excuse me, I did, and the storyline overall, I did find it quite entertaining. Don't look for anything that's really stand out in terms of acting. Like I mentioned, Christoph Waltz is somebody who you cannot miss his acting chops, because he just happens to be one of those actors like that. But overall, it's a good movie. I mean, I think a lot of people did like it. However, it didn't make the kind of money that they were looking for. I would give this movie an 8 out of 10. I don't mind the issues. I kind of find that it's to be quite entertaining enough, and I would like to actually see if they could make a second movie, and maybe that can actually bump it up, and it tend to make and it can make a lot more money, and thereby create a franchise in this particular style of movies, as well as this particular universe. I would like to see that. I do not know if it's going to happen, but I was entertained. So, and I think it is a pretty good movie to watch. So yeah, 8 out of 10 for me. Thank you guys. Have a good night.